So the last of my pumpkin patch here is probably needs to be pulled out. My mums are getting ready to open up. These are yellows, the knockout roses. Need to be deadheaded for sure. And I should pick these roses just because I love a rose tea. These roses I should have deadheaded. I would have had more on here, but I didn't because I just got too busy with other stuff. The peonies, I finally remembered the names. I should probably trim these back. Sadly, my cherry tree will be cut down. I will do it and then use some of that bark to make a spoon. I want a cherry wooden spoon to use in cooking. So that's going to happen. My carrots coming up. The blueberry bushes have really turned red. Tarragon, I probably should pick some more of that. More carrots and another blueberry bush. So I have 4 blueberry bushes right here, and I love how they turn nice and red. Again, this was my grapevine. That was a green seedless concord, and very sweet. So I need to maybe make some kind of trellis like arbor, but I'm not sure what. In this area, when I do plant another cherry tree, because I have one in the back, I'll probably put it more to this side and maybe let pumpkins or something grow in this grass here, or butternut squash. The mulberries are, I think they're just about gone. There are a couple little ones on here because I kept trimming this back, and as I trimmed it, it just kept getting more berries on it. And that's what it seems to do. It gets berries once, and then I cut it back, and then it gets more berries. So it's nice that way. This is spearmint. I need to pick some. When I add spearmint to water, it just makes, I can't even explain it. It's just makes you feel really good. Happy, I would say. And these are my tropical plants. Although they don't produce bananas, I love how they look so nice and Florida-like. They will die back when the first frost hits, which I'm in Maryland, Zone 7 in Baltimore. And we really will be getting some frost, not in the next week, maybe sometime. Today is the end of October, so probably sometime in November we'll have a frost, and then these will just turn into mush, and I'll have to trim them up. Looks like I have a couple more carrots in here, and basically I had those over here and moved them to inside the planter box just to keep the weeds down. I have a couple of tomatoes I could probably take off of here and just fry them. I planted garlic and put this wire mesh over it so the squirrels don't dig it up. And now I really need to throw down some mulch or something to keep them warm. I've also picked most of the fennel seeds for like a fennel tea. You can see the fennel. And I have more to pick. The caterpillars were on here, so I left the rest of them, but even there's a small fennel down here that I could pick and fry that up with some steak. It would be delicious. The echinacea, I sprayed this little stand gold and hit the plant, so I for sure wouldn't use any of these for anything, but I don't really know what to do with the echinacea anyway, so I have to read into that, but made for a nice stand. Spent way too much on this, 70 some dollars. I have 4 more blueberry bushes here, and again, I really love how they are so nice and red in the winter. or as the temperatures drop. I can't remember what this is. It's an herb. I'll try and put the name of it when I look at the seeds. This is a Greek oregano. Lima beans I'm really disappointed in. If you can see them. Now these look a little bigger in there. But what I was finding when I was picking them, and I've had these in here for months now, that the seeds, the lima beans themselves, were so small that I picked them, and they were like that one little bean on the end, just so tiny. So I've been waiting for lima beans to form inside, but it's been very slow. Rhubarb I haven't picked. My asparagus is going to seed, and that was the main thing that was in here. So I do love the asparagus. That comes up in April. That's like one of the first things to show up. My apple tree, I think it was 4 apples I got off of here. And since I started this from an apple seed that was from a Macintosh apple that I ate, I was really happy with that. So next year I hope to make some vinegar out of it. I still have figs all over my fig tree, but they're so small. They were really late turning this year, so when you pick these, they're kind of tough. But I did get a bunch to eat. And it looks like there might be a couple bigger ones on here, but I didn't get the hundreds of figs like I did last year. I just had so many. So I want to trim it up more at the base so that it's more top heavy than bottom heavy. That'll make it easier to mow around here or plant something else and get some light in this area. I don't eat a lot of figs, but I keep seeing a lot of fig recipes, and I saw one with fig and orange, like a jam. I think that would be nice to try. And I keep wanting to do a fig Newton, but again, I just have to take the time for it. Looks like a garlic is coming up, or maybe an onion from when I had put those in a while ago. This was watermelon in here, and it was so shaded by this fig tree that they never got any watermelons. But I did have a watermelon plant under here that came out to here, and it did have a watermelon, but one side was all mushy. So maybe if I put watermelon down where I showed you the green arborvitaes in that area, some butternut squash, and my rosemary is just a couple of years old now. This, I believe, is another cherry tree, because I would throw my pits in here after I pick the cherries. Still have, or at least I had seen some raspberries. Oh, how wonderful. Maybe you can hear the church bells. Somebody must have got married today. My celery, never really did much, but what I do is cut it off, dry it, and I'll use that dried flakes in soup. This is an Italian oregano. More garlic is in here, or probably garlic. I don't think I put any onions in here. More asparagus. I don't cut it down. I just, once it dries out and dies, then I will. This was loaded with string beans, but I had to shore it up a little better. So I took all the string beans down. These are 4 o'clocks, and they get this black seed, which it looks like all the seeds have fallen out. These are more garlic. Again, wire mesh on it so the squirrels can't dig it up. Looks like a rogue tomato plant growing here. More tropicalness amongst my concord grapes. Rhubarb. I never use that for anything. I was afraid once I saw that the leaves can poison you. My olive tree doesn't have any olives on it, but I will wrap it with bubble wrap and put these bags with pine needles around it to keep it warm for the winter. This is my blackberry bush. I got a couple, but mostly the squirrels got them and the birds. My pear tree. Well, there were 6 pears, but I picked them too soon because the squirrels started getting them, and they really didn't ripen good once I picked them. This is some kind of cucumber, butternut squash, watermelon, or something, but it won't get anything on it. Wonder how this moved and fell apart. That's weird. Put more red beets in here. This is my pecan tree that didn't get any pecans this year. The grapes were wonderful. The Concord jelly was the darkest I've ever made. Eggplant. Nice spider webs on here, and I picked off the eggplant because now they're just it's too cold to grow and they're getting some kind of bug in them. So I am going to leave this in the ground just to see if it comes back next year and what the winter does to it. This sage has been in here a couple years and it's just amazing. I need to learn what to do with it more because I really don't use it that much. Behind my garage I put all this mulch so I didn't have to keep mowing it. And this is just for flowers. And this was dill. The dill didn't work here, it's just too shady. So I need some shade plants because I just want flowers in here. Just something so I don't have to mow. So those are my grapevines all up there. This I need to, if not in the next week, then in the spring, maybe around March, turn it all over and put something in there. I was thinking sweet potatoes, but we'll see. I also thought about maybe I could hook up some trellises and put cucumbers against the wall. It does get some sunlight, so we'll see. So that's about it. Nothing much to going on here. I did get a lot of grapes over the fence. The rose bush is a beautiful pink small rose. I need to move that in March, or maybe I can do it before the winter hits, maybe next week. If I'm ambitious, another bag of pine needles and more spearmint in there. So another week of working in the yard, and then I'll call it quits for the season. But it's always so much fun. It absolutely is so much fun. Wish I could think of what this was. Hyssop, maybe. Hyssop. I'll have to look. I don't know what to do with that either, so I need to find out. I'm trying to plant more herbs and more tea type things. Again, that's the Greek oregano, and over there is the Italian oregano. And this just keeps coming back year over year. I haven't even had to buy more and put in there. It just keeps coming back, so that's wonderful. All right, until the next time.